I was just thinking about that guy, Eckhart Tolle. I call him Eckhart Tolle. It's just easier. Um, I've read all of his books. I think definitely the first two or three, if he had three. It was a while ago now, and I was just thinking why and what I did with them and where my head was at and what's going on with it in general. And I think Eckhart Tolle has been used um, as a form of kind of opium for certain types of people, to mop up certain types of people and keep them distracted. I'm not saying that Eckhart didn't have this big revelation and and start writing his books and stuff like that, and the momentum picked up when someone found him. And I'm not saying that none of that happened. What I am saying is he's a vulnerable type person, for definite. He is a vulnerable, and that's important to remember. I believe he is still a vulnerable. I do believe that. But I believe he has his peace in some ways. He's found his peace, and that's fair enough. But that's him. And the mistake that people make is definitely, thinking you can have something all of a sudden. And this was his story. He woke up and he had it all happened all of a sudden, and people want that. But the word is want. People want that. If that did happen to him, he wasn't trying to get something. It arrived. It arrived out of his life. He didn't want anything. Maybe he was depressed and and whatever. Maybe he was in a conflict active stage and loads of stuff was happening and. And he got pushed through. All the big events in my life have come through extreme stress, and then you push through to the other side, and then you're in a slightly different reality, which is the natural way of things. Coming out of something. Anyway, we're talking about Eckhart, and he, I like the guy, but and he's gone with it, and he's had massive, half stadiums full of people, or stadiums, or big halls, or whatever. And he's got everyone doing the relaxing thing, and that's great. It really is great, but it isn't anything necessarily. This is the thing, because where are all these people coming from? He would have to, on an individual basis, go through everyone's kind of thing and push them along the way. You can't have this kind of stuff that he got through looking at it. You can't look at it and go, oh, yes, I'm learning this. It's not possible. It's an impossible thing. The only way you can move forward in any way is through the emotions, and through purging the emotions, and then seeing what happens on the other side. Because then you're really going through it. There's no learning any of this. So if you pick up an Eckhart Tolle book and you expect to understand it, you're lying to yourself. You don't understand it. It's nice to have a view of what's happened to him, but don't put that onto your perception, because you're just wasting your time, definitely. But I'm not saying don't read his books. They're really interesting, and it's interesting to in the mind think about something like that. But if you're ever going to get to any point that he's got to, if he has got to a point, then you've got to go through your emotions and change your life, and situations have to move around, and there's all kinds of stuff that has to happen before you could even, contemplate what you think you might be contemplating, if you see what I mean. So there's lots of things like this. Also, these people are used. They're used by, the establishment or whoever wants to control us to keep us busy. Keep you busy on this. And he was picked up in a massive way. He was picked up and used and pushed out there. And that would add to his sense of, amazement to do with his life. Definitely, money, everything. I don't know the guy, but I'm sure he's a nice guy. But it all adds to it in his vulnerability. And, one interesting thing is I saw him. I do a lot of work with couples and stuff like that. We're working through stuff, and I saw him with his girlfriend. He had a girlfriend at one point, and I saw him, and it was very disjointed. You could see there was all kinds of weird shit going on, and so that says to me that he's pushed through in some ways, but he's negating reality in another way, because you've got to be okay with everything, and see stuff, and this is the thing. So there's a big issue with it. But that all adds to it for people going, oh yeah, I'm doing the right thing, and this is happening here, and this is happening there, and but in the childhood brain, which is where most of us come from, this is just childish behaviour, and and yeah, it's all meant to just keep us busy, while other people do other things in the background to get what they want. It's a massive turmoil of getting what you want, and manipulating and putting stuff out there and stuff like this. And this is just fact. This is it's not conspiracy theory. It's like a type of emotional economics. I don't know if there is emotional economics, but if there was, I would study it if it was good, and I had a good lecturer, maybe like Jordan Peterson. Maybe he does do it. Maybe he does do emotional economics. Maybe I'll start that off and be a multi-millionaire and think that my life's gone amazing for some reason, because I've thought of something which probably people have thought of before a million times. Anyway, yeah, Eckhart Tolle, read his books, go through stuff, but don't get, I know all kinds of people that have read Eckhart Tolle, by the way, all kinds of people, because I've got into all kinds of weird conversations. Oh, you listen to Eckhart, especially in the past, like 10 years ago, and, he mopped up a lot of people, a lot of different types of people, because, the Eckhart Tolle, opium, was massive. It's like he's like an opiate, wandering around in your system. He's very non-confrontational. I mean, he is Mr. Non-confrontation. What would he do in a confrontation? Would he just disappear? I think he might. If you had a confrontation with Eckhart Tolle, I think he would just vanish. That might be his control mechanism. His coping mechanism. Poof! Eckhart Tolle's gone. He's vanished. That's it. Because I confronted him about the way he sits down. Something, I don't know, took the piss out of him. Anyway, what I'm talking about. So anyway, these are my thoughts on Eckhart. I have studied his books, so it's not coming from nowhere. I think I've, probably listened to them. I listened to them, I didn't read them, because you can listen to them over and over again. Probably 40, 50 times, maybe more. I studied him quite a lot in my delusional past, which was great, I thought. But now, on reflection, it's all been very interesting. So yeah, Eckhart Tolle. That's it. Right, I'm going to start the digger up again and do some flattening out type stuff. Okay, cheerio.